Welcome in, everybody. Welcome to another weekly Chop Shop Weekly podcast presented to you by our wonderful sponsors. I'm your host, Brad Dove. My co-host, Jason Day. How you doing today?
Brad, how are you?
I'm doing good. Been a long week. How was your week?
About the same. It was a really long week of lots of racing action, lots of work. You had a long day today, and so did I. So we're a little bit late getting this started, but I'm excited for the show and excited to get this out here to all our viewers and all our fans and get this show started.
Yeah, it was a very fun week and a very rough week in racing for a lot of different individuals. You had some success. We'll get to that later, but Tyler Dalton also had some success. Very, very good, lucky race at Talladega in the trucks for him. Yeah,
absolutely. It was Talladega in the Truck Series. It's always a bit of a gamble. It was everybody got to go up there and try to lead a lap. It was 3-4 wide most of the race. There was a few cautions, one early on the first lap. Yeah, I think our producers got some footage there, but we'll show it here in a second. But yeah, it was late race caution that Tyler Dalton was able to miss a late wreck between Colby Hartung and Mark Jorgensen and pull off the win and hold off everybody and get a win there. And like Tyler said, it's not one of the tracks that he expects to win at, but he was good, and it's good for Tyler to get a win and get up there in that Truck Series points.
Yeah, on the opening lap, I believe Eric Schaefer was part of the accident or was the cause of the accident. Very early, very aggressive. At those type of tracks, you shouldn't be aggressive on the first lap, but he happened to be, and it kind of didn't ruin it, kind of put a little dent in some people's day. They had to use their fast repair early. I don't know if you had that, seen that, or where you were in that.
I did. I was a little bit further behind, but I did see it and I saw the replay of it. It looked like Eric apologized right away for it. He wasn't expecting, they were pushing a few trucks back, which probably not the best thing to do early, but I think it was just an off-center push that caused that wreck to happen. It wasn't intentional, but maybe a little bit aggressive too early. But it, that's Talladega, and that's early, and it seems to be the Truck Series. Truck Series mentality is go, 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 and try to win it on the first lap instead of waiting to the end. And it's a good series, very aggressive series, lots of good drivers in it, but it's a tough one to make it through on tracks like that.
Mark Jurgensen Jr. had a very dominant truck early on, was leading a lot of laps. He was doing pretty good. I believe he did he win the stage, or who won the stage?
Not sure who won the stage.
I believe Mark won that stage, or was in the top.
Austin Johnson won stage one in that race.
Okay, yeah, Austin Johnson won it. But it was a pretty good stage for the most part. Again, cautions. Alex Thompson went for one heck of a ride on the back straightaway. I believe we have a clip of that from our producer.
Yeah, we'll bring that up. Bollinger, bring us up that clip.
Bollinger. We were talking earlier before the podcast, y'all, and he's got this orange cat. We're going to get the orange cat up here on the podcast. Here's our clip. Here's the onboard of it, right along with him. It looks like he just gets turned, and then he's going to go upside down.
That's just a product of the air getting underneath the truck, is doing about 170 miles an hour. And, he was able to land it. And I think he actually was able to keep going in that race after that point.
He was. He actually said jokingly that he wasn't going to use his fast repair there, but I believe he ended up using it anyhow.
He did. I remember him saying that now.
It was jokingly said, I'm not going to use the fast repair. But yeah, it was kind of funny. It was good. Do we got another clip of that, Bollinger, from the outer view?
Oh, there's 52 truck there in the middle. Almost got caught in that. Oh, Alex, that's a rough ride.
That was a wild one.
We wanted to get Alex on tonight as a guest, talk to him about the rollover, see how he's feeling this week. But he's had prior commitments and some family stuff this week, so he's not been able to make it.
He will definitely be joining us next week. He confirmed that. So we look forward to talking to him a little bit about the other racing plus that accident. We're going to carry that into that podcast.
Right. We also had Logan Kogar scheduled for tonight, but like we said at the start of the show, Brad and I both had to work late today, so it ran into Logan's time. He races on Monday nights, so he couldn't make it, but we'll also reschedule Logan next week, and we can clear the air between what I've been saying about him and what he really is, because I do think he's a nice guy. I haven't said anything bad about Logan himself. I just like his aggressiveness. He's kind of I'm going to name him now, but he's going to be our new Hurricane Hocevar for the Chop Shop League because he's got the speed, he's got the talent. He just tends to push. But his last couple of races for him, he's stayed pretty clean. He hasn't had too many issues and actually had some good finishes.
He did have a few issues I disagree with, but that's my point of view versus his point of view. we'll get into that when he comes on. It's going to be fun. It's all fun and games after the race. You get to sit there after the race, bust each other's. Which way do I want to go with that? I don't know. Well, we're not going to go any further with that, but we get to have fun. It's all about having fun at the end of the day. And Tyler Dalton ended up getting a win at Talladega. Congrats to him. Very lucky to have that win.
Yeah, and he said he was happy with that. He felt like he was. I talked to him this weekend, and he felt like he had a good truck the whole race. He was kind of felt bad for Mark. He said Mark was probably the best and was best truck in the field for the plate race, and Mark was probably going to win it if Colby hadn't got into him. I don't know. It looked to me like they both got into each other. I don't know if it was 100% Colby's fault, but that race shook up quite a bit. I know Bollinger has the clip, but there was a huge wreck halfway through the race, and Bollinger actually has a good view of that from his in-car as well as the broadcast version. But let's take a look at that huge wreck from halfway through the race at Talladega.
It was a very exciting race. Everybody got a chance to lead at the same time. It was fun, even though there was a lot of wrecks.
Yeah, this one started up front. It was a bit scary, but on Bollinger's view, a few cars were blinking in and out, but this was one of the big ones. And I'll say this will be my rant of the race, and nothing against Chop Shop or anything, but I really believe we need to get rid of the fast repairs at these plate tracks.
I agree.
I know it's unfortunate if a first lap crash happens and you get a bunch of damage and you're out of the race, but that's the same as real life. But I feel like it would take some of the aggression away at some of these really aggressive 3-4 wide stuff happening in the race when there's still 50 or 60 laps to go. It would stop some of that because guys wouldn't have that mulligan to come back in the race. And I think it would make the racing better, and you wouldn't have. I mean, it's for example, and not that I'm not happy that Tyler won that race, but Tyler was involved in that one of those wrecks, and he actually had a ton of damage. And if he didn't have his fast repair or something happen, he wouldn't have come back and won that race. So he got the mulligan that he was able to come back and win the race, and good on him for doing that. But at the same time, that takes the sim effect out of it for me, being able to reset your car and start all over again.
So I definitely agree because I'm more of an aggressive driver on them plate tracks early on, and I will throw caution to the wind come stage time because of the fact that I do have that fast repair.
Mm-hmm.
So it even though I'm a good plate driver at the end of the day, even though you say I like to drive through people, but even though I'm an aggressive driver early, it would slow that down. You wouldn't be so aggressive early on. I think it would create better racing.
Yeah, I totally agree. What I try to do, my strategy is to try to keep that fast repair. So within 10 laps to go, I still have it. So because that big one's going to happen, 5 to 10 to go, you probably get caught up in it. Hopefully you can get your truck fixed and be there for that green-white checker over and over again that we usually have. But I still don't think that's the right strategy. I just wish it was gone altogether. And maybe in the future it will be. And it's not a rant against Chop Shop. I like what they've done. I think I understand the point behind it because there is a lot of first lap wrecks and it ruins people's races. But I also think that's part of drafting tracks and part of being in a simulation type race. Bollinger has a broadcast clip of that big wreck, and I'd like to show that one because it looks pretty cool from the broadcast. If you're a fan of wrecking at Talladega, bring that up there, Michael. So this is where it happens here. It's actually
they're 4 wide.
Michael Strickland and Jorgensen that got together. But look at this. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, that was a really big wreck. A lot of good cars were involved, and they were able to fix it there for the end of the race. And actually, right there on the last lap, I believe there was another big wreck.
There was. It was between the leaders, actually.
Yeah.
In the big, I don't know if you have that. I think you have that, Bollinger. You and I went over it. But this was a little bit of a heated conversation that ended up happening between Colby and Tyler in the chat afterwards about sticking in a line or who's going with who. And, Colby kind of got the blame on that one. There's no post-race review on that last lap. But I think to me, it was a bit of a racing deal. If we can bring it up and watch it, this was what changed the race and how Tyler ended up winning the race.
Sure did. It definitely changed the race because a lot of good cars were involved. You were involved. You were running top 10 at that point.
I was at that point, and not that it makes any difference to me. I don't have to talk about myself, but yeah, I made a run on the outside there and was running close to the top 10. I think I'm just on the outside at the top up there, just on the outside of the top 10. And this is where it happens between Jorgensen and Colby. It looks like Jorgensen tries to throw a little block. Colby gets into him, and there goes our night. And the 52 goes from 10th to 32nd.
And a lot of cars snuck right by on the
They did,
inside by the wall.
And because this happened on the white flag lap, there's no caution, so they're racing back to the line. Thought maybe Causey was going to get a run here, but he ended up getting turned, almost turned. I think that was
almost turned by
Fred
Jerry.
Chase. It was Jerry Culver right there. And I think if Jerry had stayed with Causey on that pass, that Causey would have won the race, and Jerry potentially could have finished top. I think he would have got second. I think he would have got by him on that move, but still a really good run for Jerry. Jerry ended up finishing top 5, so that was good for him. Joseph Causey 4th, Anthony Crownover 3rd. Joey Katina, good run. He's had some bad luck in this. He's always got speed. He's had bad luck. He ended up finishing 2nd behind Tyler Dalton. Jason Hastings, a guy who normally doesn't finish even top 15. He ended up finishing in 8th spot, so that was a good run for Hastings and one of the DBR boys.
Wesley Straight even had a good run again.
He did. Wesley
after
his bad race the week before.
Yeah, after his bad race and his win, he's back in the top 10,
go ahead.
He's one of them guys you got to always look out for. Just about any track now, we can pretty much say that in trucks. After his Texas win, you never know what kind of strategy he's going to pull off.
For sure. Yeah, Wesley's strong in the trucks. He said it in our interviews and talked to him before. He's streaky, so he's either really good or he has bad luck or he shows up and the truck just doesn't do what he wants. So, Wesley's one of those guys that could win every week, but more than likely he's going to be that guy that's right around the top 10 and he gets lucky and he gets up through there with a pit call or a pit strategy, and he's teammates with Colby and Pat Green, so all those guys are fast, so that team's going to is always good in the trucks especially.
And we can go ahead and pull up our hard charger of the week. Jerry from 38th to 5th, 33 spots. That's a pretty good accomplishment, even though it is a plate track. He avoided all the chaos and stuff, Congrats to him. Wesley Straight did it pretty good himself. He was 31 spots from 37th to 6th. And then Joseph Causey from 31st to 4th, 27 spots. And Clint Hack.
That's really big.
15 spots.
I'd like to see the hard charger change too, but I'm going to make my other rant about that. I'd like to see the hard charger change. I think you should have to qualify, and you have to start where you qualify and not sandbag to qualify just to start at the back, but like choosing to start in the pits and then getting hard charger isn't, a lot of us could do that every week if we really wanted to, but it's not a rant against Jerry or anything. It's the way the rules work and the way it is, but good on Jerry. That's a heck of a run to go from what's 38th spot to 5th.
Yeah, 38th to 5th, 33 spots.
At a track like that, that's impressive. Jerry actually won 2 hard chargers this week. He won the hard charger also in the Cup Series race on Friday. So good on Jerry. He's been racing really well lately. He's been dealing with some back pain, so good for Jerry to come up and run. He's been running a lot better. He's got some good speed. Had a lot of speed in the ARCA Series this year, so glad to see. There is Jerry from the hard charger from the Cup Series race. So congrats, Jerry, on that.
2 hard chargers.
Yeah, 2 this week. So congrats, Jerry, and keep it up. And he's always fun to have in the chat. He keeps me laughing. He's always a good dude. So
who's a hard charger in Xfinity? I don't even remember. That's
a really good question.
I don't even remember. Bollinger, who you got for the hard charger over there?
I think we should have gave an award to the guy who didn't get wrecked, because it seemed like there was only like one guy who didn't get wrecked, and that was Tyler.
Yeah, Tyler Lemon got really lucky there, not getting wrecked. I don't think Fred Chesky got it. 16th to 3rd.
That's impressive.
That's
Fred was good.
impressive.
Fred was good that night. He had some good speed. We can get into the Xfinity now, or do you want to?
Yeah, we can go right into it.
Yeah, we can talk about the...
First, I want to congratulate our winner from the truck race. Tyler Dalton. He deserved it, even though it's luck.
Well, it's not luck. He was up front all night, so it wasn't luck. He was in the right place, the right time, and that's what it takes to be there at those tracks. And Tyler's a smart racer. His racing IQ is probably better than most of us in this league. He understands it. And we can bring up the truck standings as well. Bollinger, that'd be great. Yeah, Tyler's a smart racer. He doesn't take too many risks. He's good on the long run. He's climbing the standings now, as you can see here. Nathan's still leading. He's got 4 wins this season. Colby's in second. Austin Johnson, another guy who's super fast. He's great every week. Tyler Dalton's in fourth, and those positions haven't really changed this week. Eric Schaefer moves up 1 spot to fifth. Brandon Banks up 1 spot to sixth, and Michael Strickland dropped 2 in the back in 7th place.
Chad Coleman was having a pretty decent run at Talladega. Got caught up in some bad luck as well. I want to give a shout out to him. I was racing around him quite a bit. Very, very good driver. Has a head on his shoulders. I think he can go a long way in this top 16 in points.
I agree, and we're getting really close to the playoffs here right now. I think we're only 2 races away. 3 races. I think we're 2 races away right now. This was a make or break race for me. I was sitting just outside the top 20, and with a good finish for me, I was going to try to make that top 15 in there, but not going to happen now with a 30 seconds. So my season playoff wise is pretty well done, but excited for congratulate all the other guys that are in that top 15 right now and can have a chance top 16 to make it into the playoffs. So hopefully a couple more good runs for these guys, and we'll shake up the playoff run in the next couple. Who's on the bubble? Bolin, you can bring that back up again. I want to see who's right on the bubble, if you heard me. There we go. So Brian Wertman's just inside right now. Can't really see the points on your.
Doug Simmons is about 21 points out. Then you got Clint Hackett about, I got to do some quick math.
He's
30,
close to 40 points behind, 37 points behind. Then Fred Chase is 38 points behind. So it's a close battle. There's a few good finishes for those guys. They could be right up in there. So a bad night for Newbrow or Wertman, and a good night for Fred Chase or Clint Hackett, Wesley Strait. They could be in there. So we'll keep an eye on this bubble as the series progresses.
And while we're on trucks, there's so many guys in the trucks. It's almost a 40-car field most nights, 36-car field. So there's a lot of points to be grabbed at every truck race. And if you have a bad night, you are going to lose a lot of points.
Yeah.
It's not like the O'Reilly series where there's about 20 guys and you're gaining only, the dividends are huge in the trucks. So.
Absolutely.
Let's go right into the O'Reilly series. Tyler Lemon pulling off a big win at Bristol. I'm not
going to say, but I called it again. And I ended up, I don't normally watch the O'Reilly's races just because of busy on the weekend, but now that we're doing this broadcast, I guess it's kind of my job to know what's going on. So I actually did end up watching. I wasn't doing anything Saturday night, so I told you I'd jump in and watch. And I tried not to watch all the things that happened to you that race. We'll talk about this a little bit later, but Tyler did exactly what I thought was going to happen. He played the race smart. A lot of cautions. It was a bit of a, I'm going to swear on here, but a bit of a shit show. It was actually kind of disappointing to watch for that track, but a lot of guys overdriving the corner, burning their stuff up. Tyler said it in his post-race interview. Bristol's gone back to the old school Bristol where you can run the bottom, stay on that white line, save some tires. You can run hard a few times, run up the track, get a run off the top, but you can't do that the whole time. It's going to burn the tires off. Tyler did exactly what I thought. He stayed around 4th, 5th position the whole race, didn't push the issue, didn't push the car. Got to the end of the race and a late race caution happened, and Tyler was able to pounce and take the lead away from RB Turner, who was the best best car all race long. He led, I don't know how many laps he ended up leading in that race. I'm not looking at it right now, but RB was super, super dominant, looked really good, had a huge lead at one time, was pulling away from the field, and unfortunately too many cautions happened that ruined RB's night. But
a little bit behind that, RB did not have the tires that Tyler Lemon did.
Exactly. He did run out of tires, yeah. But that late race caution hurt him because Tyler was able to catch back up with the tires. Like I said, Tyler did the right thing, saved his stuff all night. But RB looked good the whole night. Fred Chase looked fantastic in that race. Again, though, pushed too hard, pushing up the track too much, and burning that stuff up. John Hammond had a ton of speed in that race for short runs. I think if he got down to a late race, short run, John Hammond could have been a guy to beat in that race as well. But yeah, too many cautions, too many guys overdriving, self spins, weird wrecks. But congrats to Tyler on taking that win.
Driving them cars, going into the corner, if you drove it in deep, you were literally breaking loose in the center It wasn't like it normally was where you were paying the price on that right front. It was just more on the right rear. So driving in deep was no benefit, really. You had to back the corner up. It was a difficult night for a lot of us. Robert Dudley had some bad luck. I believe Clint had a. Where did Clint finish?
Clint was way back early. Like
Yeah,
he
Clint
something
had a
happened
bad
early.
night.
Yeah.
Kevin Winker
Also
uh,
out of the race. He didn't
out of the race.
DNF.
He blew his motor when he hit me after I came up and got turned by Pat Green. That was on me. I claimed it.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for Winker
Yeah.
because he's right there for this championship as well. So unfortunate, but that's the way racing goes sometimes. And Kevin's one of those guys who's always fast, but he seems to have some bad luck as well, especially lately here when the playoffs hit. So
Yeah, this new playoff system is definitely. If you have a couple bad weeks, yeah, it's hard to come back. It's
right,
it's going to
I think
definitely be hard.
I think
For
the O'Reilly series is still finishing off on the old point system right now. This series,
this is the new
yeah.
system.
Are you on the new system? I think this
Yep,
is the last one finishing off the old system.
maybe you're right. I don't
Yeah,
remember.
I think it's just still the old win if you're in type deal. You're on the old
You
system.
might be correct.
And then it switches over after that. But yeah, so good on Tyler. I agree with you on the driving in deep part, but I saw a lot of guys really trying to get up top and get off that corner super fast. And that's when I saw guys burning up their right rear and then getting loose, and they just didn't have that run. I think John Hammond got loose up top, got the marbles. A few other guys were getting loose, getting on the exit. So it's, what are you bringing up here?
The schedule. He's got the schedule
Thank
up.
you, sir. I can't see it because my screen's really small.
We just ran Bristol, so we're at Phoenix next. That's going to be a good one. And then we go to Richmond, and then we got a bye week, and then Vegas. Appreciate you bringing that up, Bollinger.
Yeah, thank you, Bollinger. The one thing we didn't do, we'll go back to it. We'll preview the trucks race for next week, for this week. But since you just talked about Phoenix, I'm gonna pick Tyler Lemon to win again. He loves Phoenix, and he already said, "Oh, okay, trucks are off tomorrow, so we won't preview it anyway." Thanks, Bollinger. I guess I'm not racing tomorrow. I picked Tyler again. He loves Phoenix. He loves the dog leg. He said expect him to be right down against that inside wall on those laps to get a good run down there. I think it's a track that works well for him on long run pace and saving tires. I also think Kevin Winker will be super strong at Phoenix as well. He was strong in the what was it? The ARCA series car that we ran there at the first of the season. He was super strong in that as well. So I think Winker and Lemon will be the guys to look for in that race.
Okay, I'm going to ask you a question.
Yes.
How do you compare New Hampshire to Phoenix?
Not
Is
even
there any
close.
similarities in how you drive?
Nothing.
In my opinion, to throw that out there because a lot of people ask about it, and might as well have your
in my opinion, they're not even close to the same. New Hampshire is Phoenix. You run the racing line like you would at any other track. New Hampshire does this weird drift up, egg-shaped oval. It's not the New Hampshire is not the same, especially in trucks. And O'Reilly's a little bit more old school, a little bit races a little bit like it used to. The Cup car is not the same at all. There's shiftings involved. It's really, really weird. But New Hampshire's migrated, since they've redone New Hampshire, just now migrated to that middle groove or high groove racetrack. Unless you're late in a run and you're me and run the apron like a weird, crazy person in iRacing. You can't do that in real life, although Ryan Blaney tried it in the Cup car. But yeah, there's ways around New Hampshire that aren't the same as Phoenix. Phoenix is momentum based. You need to get the last two corners, or I guess it's not 3 and 4 now. It's 1 and 2. 1 and 2 are a long sweeping corner now. You have to get you can run the middle, you can run low, you can run high. There's just multiple grooves at Phoenix. I think it's not even comparable. Yes, they're both flat. Yeah, you can slide, but I think they're two totally different things.
Good answer. I like it. So my pick is going to be Kevin Winker for this week. I think it's going to become a fuel mileage race. Kevin Winker is the best in the Xfinity at saving fuel. Kevin Winker comes out on top in the Xfinity.
I don't see it being fuel mileage. I mean, I'd like to say I wouldn't mind seeing that compared to last week's Wreck Fest that they had. I think you see a few wrecks happen with guys not being able to save their tires and spinning out there, or something happening in that not tri-oval, but the dog leg section, the dog leg where somebody comes up the track and somebody's out there. I think something happens there probably late. If it gets strung out, yes, it could potentially be a green flag race. The fields aren't super, super big in the O'Reilly series. So yeah, you definitely are right. Kevin is good at saving. I just think that saving enough there, saving fuel there, and having speed is tough to do. You can't just clutch the way around that track and have momentum and keep speed. I think Tyler is good enough at saving tires that if he was in front and it was a long green flag run, I think he would have such a huge lead. He could probably, if Winker was saving fuel, Tyler was leading, Tyler would probably still be able to pit, take tires, and still be able to keep up with the pace. And what you'd have to do with, it'd be hard to save there with all the corners being so slow. It's not like a momentum where you can really coast around there, in my opinion. But
I hope your pick's not right this week.
well, I kind of hope it is.
Tyler.
I'd like to keep it going, but Tyler gave us a huge shout out, so I'm going to keep pumping Tyler's tires right now.
We
and
love you, Tyler.
And it's not that I don't think there's anybody else in this league that can win. There's a ton of talent in this. There's, John Hammond, Fred Chase, Caspier's been running great. There's a lot of good guys. Brian Rayburn. There's some really good, Clint Hackett, Dove. All you guys are good drivers. Just Tyler, like I said, he has another gear when it comes to those late race runs. And now that he knows it's in the playoffs, I think he's just like, okay, well, now it's time to step up my game, and he doesn't make mistakes. He doesn't do dumb things early. He waits till late in the race to make a move. He doesn't put himself in situations that will cause him to have a bad race.
Who's your dark horse?
Dark horse? I'm going to go with Clint. Clint needs a good run, and he deserves a good run. And I think that he's going to be my guy. I think that I think Clint's going to get a top 5, and my dark horse to win the race.
So my dark horse, I'm going to go with Robert Dudley.
Oh, good one.
He's pretty good on these tracks. His boy's off overseas doing his thing, defending us. I think Robert Dudley pulls up an upset.
That'd be a cool one too. I like it.
Let's go right into the Cup Series. That was a pretty big win for you at where were we?
Homestead.
Again? Homestead, yes. Pretty big win for you at Homestead. You did a different strategy. Let's hear about it.
Can we before we get into that, let's bring up the O'Reilly points and we can talk about this playoff. So our point standings right now, unfortunately, they're listed wrong, but Blake
cut it out again. I found them.
Okay.
I found them. Here, Bollinger, I'll pull it up. Go ahead and pull that down. Pull that down, Bollinger. We're going to clip that out. So we're going to go, there you go. Start when you're ready.
So we brought up our point standings here for the playoffs for the O'Reilly series, and Tyler Lemon's up in front right now. He's got 4 wins now in the series. I think he dominates the rest of the way. I think he's my prediction to win the championship. But Pat Green's there, RB Turner, Jonathan Casebeer, Robert Dudley, Fred Chase, and Wertman. You know what? He could be, I forgot about Wertman. He could be right there in my dark horse as well, along with Clint Hackett. I forgot about Wertman. I should have given him a shout out because I really like him. I like the way he thinks. I like the way he drives. He's just got some bad luck sometimes too. Kevin Winker's there. Unfortunately, had a bad week this week, so he dropped a spot. John Hammond, always contention to win. He could be there as well, but those guys are all trying to fight to get into that top 6 right now. I think it pretty much stays the same going in after next week. I think this championship standing stays the same from what I can see right now and the way the races are going to go.
I'd agree. It might get a little tighter there around the bubble, but I don't see any big changes. The only thing you can have shuffle up maybe is the bottom half of that. Nothing in the top, I don't think.
Yeah. I mean, like Wertman's, they're 17. There's quite a few points in this division. Like, there's not a lot of guys in the races. I think that's quite a few points to make up 17 or 20 points unless you have a really good run and a bad run. So I think, like you said, this top 6 kind of stays where it is unless there's a huge shakeup at Phoenix.
I don't see it happening. You got Phoenix, Richmond, and Las Vegas. It's going to be really tight to see it really shuffle much before the cutoff. I don't see much change.
I agree with you. But, good luck to all the drivers, and it's exciting series, and I think finishing off this season the way it is, these points, I think it'll be interesting. If a guy gets a win, that changes a lot of things. One of those guys in that bottom part of that playoff bubble, they get a win. I think it's still on the win if you're in. So if they win, they move up there. So that could shake things up. I forgot about the win if you're in.
Yeah, it could get really spicy if you win and you get in there. You never know. John Hammond could pull off a win at Phoenix and shake it all up.
I agree with you. I guess that's the fun part of that style of playoffs.
Yeah.
The part I don't like about it, but it makes it fun for can throw something into the mix towards the end of a season.
Yeah, it can definitely spice things up. it's different playoff system. I don't know which one I really like yet. Like going back to the chase format, I see some negatives. I see some positives. I see that you can lose drivers that way, but I also see that it's a better point system. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I see no negatives in it as a driver's perspective and determining a true champion. I don't see any negatives in it as a T in real life or as a TV ratings or broadcasting. I see a little bit of negative in it because their guys could run away with it a bit. Luckily, we still have that old school chase format where you have your 16 drivers for 10 races, so you're still having a points championship. It's not win if you're in, that kind of stuff. So it's still better than you're still getting a playoff format in a sense, but you're not getting a 30 to 36 race season where a championship could be crowned with 10 races to go, like Matt Kenseth did back in 2002 or whatever it was. And they lost ratings. And that's why they had to change the system where they were like, oh, nobody's watching now because they already know Matt Kenseth won the championship.
Yeah.
To me, I still like the old school 36. So whoever's the best over 36 races should win the championship. That's me. I'm old school, but I do like the format now. The chase system they have now, I think, is the best mix of everything, and I think it's gonna make NASCAR better. And you're gonna see champions that actually deserve to be champions, that were pretty much champions all season, are going to be the champions that win the actual championship. So
Not like a one-off winner at the end of the year.
exactly. Yeah, I think so, and I think this is the opportunity for Denny Hamlin to win his championship with this type of format. I really do.
His boy Tyler Reddick's going to be tough to beat.
He is for sure.
Well,
all right, so now we can talk about the Cup race.
Well, you had one heck of a win at Homestead. Well, let's hear about that. You did a little bit of different strategy, put yourself in a different spot, took a risk. Not normally your style.
It's not, and it was funny because that race, Tyler Dalton was the guy to beat at that race. This is his best track, long runs. Him and Nate were going to battle it out. Maybe Brandon Banks on a long run. He was super, super good as well. Lots of good drivers that were good. I didn't qualify well, started 14th, kind of fell through, didn't do great in the first stage. My tire wear was a little off. Asked a couple questions to Nate on entry of 3 and 4. 1 and 2 was really good for me. 3 and 4, I was just struggling a little bit. Found a breaking point that Nate kind of talked to me about. Was able to use it right away. Nate gave me a little shout out in the interview after saying, Jason's able to take that and make it work right away. So I was able to move myself up into the top 10, top 5. My strategy for the race was just to do whatever Nate did. So if Nate was going to pit, I was pitting. So we were able to pit together. We were the only two guys to pit. We went back towards the back of the pack, worked our way up through the field, took over the lead. Nate and I took over the lead with some fresh tires behind us, had a little bit of a longer run. Tyler got by me. I think it was like lap 108. We had a caution. Nate says in the race, he said, "You're going to follow me all the time. You're never going to win," because he said, if you do what the leaders do, you'll never change. So that was my chance to do something different. So yeah, so on lap 108, we take tires. We're the only car to go down pit road. I think 1 or 2. I was able to go from 22nd back up into the top. I think it was like the top 5 within 15 or 20 laps. We were lap 129. I'm sitting top 5 right at that time. I was gaining on the leaders. Caution comes out, and I'm like, oh, my race is over now. I have no more tires left. Everybody else pitted, took on fresh tires. So I was like, well, Tyler and Nate are going to get me. I'm probably going to finish 15th. This is where I thought I was going to be, 15th spot. By the end of the race, I think there was four cars that stayed out behind me that were kind of slower cars. We went green, and luckily those guys were able to hold up the leaders a little bit, and the leaders basically fought each other so hard. Not the leaders, but Tyler, Nate, Brandon, I think Coleman was there as well. They fought so hard that it allowed me to get a little bit ahead, get a little bit of breathing room. Clean air played a huge difference. Nate and Tyler both had mistakes in pit road that put them back a couple of positions. And so Brandon Banks followed me to the finish, and now we'll show this last lap. But I was able to hold him off until the last lap, and here's the last lap of the race. The lap before this, Brandon got right to my bumper, and I thought he was going to touch me, but I knew that he wouldn't. But I think if he had have got me there, that would have just loosened me up just enough that I would have lost the race. But good, thank you for Brandon for racing me super clean. He said I did a good job of running my line and keeping dirty air on him that he just couldn't get a run. And this was coming around to turn 4.
He just didn't have enough to get to you there.
Not enough. He
probably
had. We went another 5 to 10 laps. All those guys would have caught me. Nate, Dalton, all those guys. But I was able to hold off 21 laps. I think I had 15 lap holder tires than the rest of the field. And I was able to hold them all off for 21 laps. And it felt really good to get a win. Talked to Tyler Dalton later on. He wasn't too happy about losing this one. Not mad about me winning it or anything like that, but this was the track that he really wanted. He felt like he was a bit disappointed. There was too many wrecks. I don't think it was 14 cautions in that race. I think we had something like that. It was a lot.
There was a lot of cautions.
It was a lot of cautions, and they weren't guys running into each other. They were mostly self spins. Heat played a big factor. Tyler felt like if we could go long green flag runs, there wasn't anybody that could really beat him at this track. I think maybe Nate or Brandon probably had something for Tyler in this race. Myself, I was probably a top 5, top 10 car that made the right decision at the right time, and clean air made a huge difference. And I kept my streak alive. I have at least one win in every Cup Series season, and so far at Chop Shop. So I was able to keep that streak alive. So the pressure's off to get my one win, and I've regained first place in points. So 52 teams really happy right now. My sponsors are happy, so I'm still getting paid. So still employed, and I'm very happy to be part of this series and this championship. And I know I'm not going to stay there all season. There's too many good guys in this league, but really happy with the way the 52 teams working right now in the Cup Series. The car is really coming to me. I feel really confident in it, and this win is definitely helping our momentum to keep rolling on. And hopefully not this Friday, but next Friday, I make it home from Oregon on time, that I don't miss Legacy Atlanta, because I don't want to take the drop, and wouldn't normally care if I missed a race, but right now, sitting first place in points, I don't want to miss these races anymore. So I'm going to be making a quick trip home on next Friday from Oregon, hopefully make it home in time to make the race on Friday night.
Well, Jeff Lairway also had a great run. Fred Chase, a couple of guys that were running up front had decent runs. Jeff normally doesn't run top 20. He had a top 19th place finish, 21st place finish.
It's still a good run for him.
Still a good run. Stayed out of people's way, very, very polite driver. He is very respectful. He'll run you hard, but, Grahava had a great run. Brian Rayburn, Schaefer had some bad luck, but also came back to have a good top 10.
Yeah, Schaefer's the best car. I don't know how to put this. Schaefer was the worst car to have the best finish of the race. And I love you, Eric, and I don't know if you watch this or not, but I do love Eric. He's always great to me, races me super clean. Eric struggled with that car. He even said it a few times. He got loose. He spun out. I think he spun out at least twice, caused 2 cautions, had some trouble, and to be able to battle back and finish in the top 10, impressive. It was really, really impressive to see. Chad Coleman, another good run. Sorry, Doug, I didn't mean to cut you off there. I just wanted to double it. Strickland, top 10. Who was it? Brian Fine, super consistent, seems to be really good on long runs, super good. Katina, another top 10. I just want to mention Levi Allen. I mentioned this before, but Levi qualified really well that race. Again, he's new to this Cup Series, new to the Cup racing, showed really good speed, and unfortunately got caught in 2 wrecks and didn't finish the race. So hopefully Levi's, kind of, I guess, rookie bad luck will get past him, and he'll show the true speed that he really has. But
he's having that Ty Gibbs type of bad luck.
He sure is, yeah, and he'll get it. He's been there. Fred Chase showed some speed in that race. David Emmett, same thing. Craig Parks, another good run for him. So, those guys are all finishing top 20. So consistency. Logan Kogar, another top 20. So it was a good race. All in all, just too many cautions. I'm not going to complain about them now because I won the race, but I definitely think there was too many for that type of racetrack. It was, like I said, though, it wasn't due to bad driving or guys running into each other. It was just a really slick track. The temperature was hot. It was all about throttle control, and it was tough getting off the corner a lot of times, and guys would just self-spin getting on the throttle too much.
Definitely. It was a difficult track with it being hot. Miami's known for being hot, but sometimes we have cloud cover, which gives you a lot of traction, and the night races are sometimes a little bit better, I think. But, you might disagree because you won a day race, so.
Yeah, exactly, for sure. And we have a couple little highlights we'll bring up. Close call for Robert Church in this race. Folger's got it now.
That was Parsons.
Jonathan Parsons just got loose and tried to correct it and made the big old right turn to the side. But I don't know how Church missed this, but he literally went by him. Just missed
Very
him here.
close.
This is crazy.
That-
I don't know how
That's
you miss that.
inches.
I don't know how that misses. Like if that's me, I'm flying over the fence.
You're going to the moon.
But yeah,
You're
close call.
Alex Thompson going down the back straight at Talladega.
Yeah, good. It was close call for Church. Yeah, it was a good race all in all. Lots the talent in the Cup Series. This is why it's our premier series. But to get a win, I'll talk about me for a little bit. But to get a win in the series feels unbelievable. It may not be like that for a guy like Banks or Biggert or Dalton. I know they win all the time, but to be able to beat any of those guys, especially on older tires, it sure felt good. And to be running in this series and being competitive, it feels really good. And there's such good talent. Anybody can win at any time, and really really happy with the way Chop Shop puts on this league, and the talent's getting better every year and every season. So I'm happy for that.
Yeah, it's a very good series, very competitive. It's very early in the season as well. You know, you're having some pretty decent runs. A lot of guys, Banks, Bigger.
Banks struggled the first couple races, but he's working his way back up now, and I expect him to be right up top, right up front.
Let's go ahead and pull up them standings while we're on this. You know, you took back over the points lead from Tyler Dalton. Pretty got to be feeling good being 4 points ahead. You know, after losing, you said you weren't going to go back up there, but look at you back in the points lead. Tyler Dalton sitting there in second, 4 points behind. Brandon Banks 56 behind. Striker 59 behind. You know, Striker's doing pretty good. I feel he's also struggling with the car.
He's had some bad luck. I think more than anything, he's had a connections issue. He's had some bad luck. Got caught in a few things. Pitch strategy didn't go his way. I think one of the races he was being race controlled at the same time, so he had some penalties. So it's, for to be where he's at, considering things that happened to him, I think that's pretty impressive. What I'm impressed with is the guy in fifth place, Nathan Biggert. He's missed 2 races, and look where he is in points. So that's how scary Nathan Biggert is in this Cup Series. The fact that he's missed 2 races and he's sitting 5th in points with 2 wins.
Yeah, very impressive. Nate's a heck of a race car driver, and he it doesn't matter what he gets in, whether it's road, Cup, trucks. He's fast in everything, and that makes it very scary.
Absolutely. Just want to look at these points here, but like another new driver. Craig Parks, good run for him. He's in the top 15, top 16. Brian Rayburn sitting in the top 10. That's good for Brian. Brian's had bad luck in these series the last couple of years, so good to see him showing speed up front. Logan Kogar's in there. Cameron struggled again last week. Had some connection issues, then got caught in a wreck or caused a wreck. It was kind of a little bit of both, I guess, racing deal. He dropped 4 spots this week. Again, it's only early in the season, but a tight points battle, lots of good drivers. I expect to see a few other guys in victory lane this year. I think Brian Fine pulls off a win this year. Justice may get one. Logan Kogar potentially could get one this year. So there's a lot of guys in this league that I think can get a win.
I definitely agree. Craig Parks, like you said before on some of our previous chats, he's coming around. He's fast.
He's around the right guys. He's a DBR guy, so he's around the right guys to learn, and he's got speed, so it's good to see.
Yeah, very, very impressive. I look forward to continuing to see how he improves. And same with Levi Allen. Even though he had some bad luck this week, I see him making the top 16 by the end of the season.
Yeah, and shout out to Jerry Culver, Robert Church. Their speed's improved every week as well. I see them getting faster. You've improved your speed. I don't know if it's those new pedals or that new wheel you got. I don't know what it is, but you've definitely improved your driving. Maybe not so much in the O'Reilly's race. I don't know what you were doing in that race, but we won't talk about how bad you were that race or how bad your luck was that race. But speaking of Brad Dove, though, I'm gonna take over the Dove bomb right now because I want to give it to Brad because I'm going to do it again, but I gave him shit for this during the race or after the race. He ended up spinning Clint.
No, that would be the Cup car, not the O'Reilly.
Not the O'Reilly. But Dove got it in the O'Reilly series as well. But I'm calling him out for the Cup Series race where he went down pit road and didn't follow the rules and drove that down the left-hand side and spun our poor buddy Clint Hackett, who was having a great run that night, running top 10 most of the night, and ended up spinning Clint Hackett on pit road. And I wish I had the audio of Clint after this wreck. Probably not YouTube friendly, but it was pretty funny to hear. But
In the best terms, he stated, "We all need to learn to stay right."
yes, yeah, maybe an
In the best
explicit word
words.
in there in between, but yeah. So I don't know if you have to defend yourself on that one, Brad, but that was my dove bomb or your dove bomb of the week for breaking the rules and just plain not doing what you should be doing.
Well, the car in front of me was going really, really slow. So
Yes.
I went to the inside, which I was justified on that one. Should I have come up on the inside, Clint? No. And I am going to give my apology right now to Clint Hackett live right now. Sorry, Clint. I screwed up. Now, I screwed up then. I screwed up in another race. I completely 100% apologize. This week for me has been nothing but crap. So
we all
that's
have
my
those.
apologize.
Well, Clint, if you're gonna watch the show, and I know you do, I love you, buddy. I know Brad does. Sorry about your bad luck. I know you had some bad luck later on in the race with another car up high during the race, but this definitely changed the way your race went. So I might be on air with him, and we're buddies, but I am gonna call Brad out on this one. He definitely ruined your night.
And then while we're on the dove bomb, we're going to go ahead and go to the truck series. We're going to go backwards a little bit. The truck series, Alex Thompson got it for flipping down the back straightaway.
Not his fault, but he got it just for being cool. Yeah.
But he got it for being cool and going upside down. You know, it's something that I would have done back in the day. You know, I have flipped a lot of trucks in my iRacing days, and you know, I probably will flip a couple more, but it wasn't that cool. You know, so shout out to Alex Thompson. We'll be chatting with him here soon.
Yeah, I actually do. I don't remember seeing the replay, but I actually think he did come up on the guy that caused the wreck. But I remember him saying it right away. I'm not claiming that as he's flipping upside down on the straightaway. So I do remember him saying this. So it was pretty good audio for that.
He definitely did.
Yeah.
And then the other dove bomb is going to go. I believe it went to Rayburn, not me, for his actions under caution.
Oh yes. Yeah.
He came up and ran me under caution. You know,
I think he was upset that you were multiple laps down and causing incidents for guys who were on the lead lap. I think that's why he was upset.
He was more upset that I got into him when he got loose, and I kind of ruined his day.
I think you were 12 laps down at that point when you got into him. So I think that was the point of the Rayburn rant as you speak, and why he did what he did under caution.
I 100% don't blame him. You know, it's something I would have done again back in the day when I was a little more hot-headed. Let's put it that way.
I don't even need to rant this week, Dove, about things, because you basically did all the stuff that I rant about every week. You did it all in 1 week.
I had to take care of the rants for you. You know, if I do it, you know, you got nothing to rant about.
I'll make my other rant. This is actually Tyler Dalton's rant. He was frustrated in the Cup Series race for guys driving over their head, and that's why they were causing the wrecks. But in that defense, we're all there to race. We all drive the way we drive. Sometimes we drive over our heads. Sometimes we don't. Guys, we're not all, you know, 7,000 iRating guys. We're all out there trying to win. We're learning as we go. Cautions happen. We just got to take our lumps as we get them. Do I like getting run into by guys? Absolutely not. But guys that are just going to drive over their heads and wear their tires out, you get them back later. You get that spot back later if they're diving it in there on the first 10 laps, and you just let them go, and then you'll get it back later. Unfortunately, we had a lot of cautions and a lot of short runs in that Cup race, but that's the way racing goes sometimes. And Tyler will get it back. Tyler will end up having multiple wins this season, I think, in Cup, and I'll have my one. So I'll take it right now. And I appreciate him saying congratulations to me, and I did a good job at the end. But Tyler wanted that one. That's his favorite track, so he'll get another one back. And I think I'm going to preview Indy for next week because that's where we're at. But Tyler right now is probably my pick to win Indy, if not Brandon Banks or Nathan Biggert. I think those three are the guys that run 1, 2, 3 that whole race.
I'm going to go with Austin. No, he's not in that series.
He's in the truck series.
I'm going to go with Mark Jurgensen.
If he races. He has only
raced. If he races.
Yeah.
If he doesn't race, it's Nate Biggert.
And I think Mark he's good. I think he's better in the truck than he is in the Cup car. I think that's where Nate and Tyler seem to be more shine in the Cup car, as well as Brandon Banks. I think another guy that could be really good if he shows up. He hasn't been here for a few weeks, but is Michael Caffrey, who's also very good at Indy.
I could see Michael Caffrey pulling off a win there. You know, he's pretty quick when he shows up. He's not a slouch, not anybody to look past. Anywhere you show up, I'm even going to throw your name. I'm going to put you in the top 5 at Indy.
Yeah, if I make it, to
If you
Indy,
make
that's
it,
yeah.
yeah.
If I make it, maybe I could potentially. I don't see myself at the top 5. I'm maybe a top 10 here. The car's coming to me, but we do have the added horsepower, which I think I like. It's a 750 horsepower track, so I do like that and may work in my advantage. I think Eric Schaefer ends up being really good here as well. He likes the flat tracks. Grijalva, I think he'll be a top 5, top 10 guy as well. Kogar, I'm gonna say he's had the speed. I mean, he can keep it clean. I think Kogar could be there at the end as well. Can't count out Strickland, John Hammond, all those guys. You know, Admin Hallery has a win this season. Sorry, I'm just looking at the standings right now on my screen.
Mhm.
But yeah, I'm still going to go with 1, 2, 3. It'll be between Brandon, Tyler, and Nate. I don't know what order, but those 3 will be right up there in that race.
You were talking about Brian Fine possibly getting a win. Does it come at Indy is a question. I don't know.
I don't know if it comes at Indy. We have long green flag runs. If we have long runs without cautions, I don't think Brian gets it. I think that he's got good long run speed, but I don't know if he has it for Indy. I see Brian winning. Oh, I don't know, somewhere like a Kentucky or something like that. I see Brian winning on a 1.5 miles, something with some banking. I don't see him winning. I don't see him winning at one of these flat tracks. I see him winning at a Kentucky, a Charlotte, one of those tracks where it's a little bit of banking.
I definitely agree with you there. Whoever shows up, if you show up, I wish you all the best of luck. I'll be there. You know, we all go out there and do our best and try to keep it clean. You know, hopefully it's a cleaner race than the Homestead. Hopefully it's not as hot. You know, I really don't like these hot tracks. I don't have really good luck at them.
It's hot every week. John Hammond cranks up the temperature, and he likes these cars slip sliding around. And I think it makes for, because it's fixed setup, I think it makes for a little better racing. A lot of guys don't like it, but I feel like if the temperature dropped down and it was cold, the lead changes would never change. We would just run. We wouldn't have any tire wear. Basically, the order you'd start would be the order you finish, unless there was a big wreck or something happened in the pits. But with the hot tracks, I think tire conservation and throttle control play effect in these races, and with the colder temperatures you don't get that. And whatever iRacing's done with the car now has definitely helped with the tire wear, the extra horsepower, all that kind of stuff. So we're heading in the right direction. John can keep cranking the temperature up until we can't drive him anymore, I guess, and we'll see, because we're all running the same thing. So
that we are. It's very exciting. You know, the season's still fresh and new. We're only going to be on race 7. You know, it's going to be fun and exciting.
I agree.
Did you see the release that's coming out for the new tracks that are coming possibly to iRacing?
I did see that the new NASCAR track, the naval base is coming. I'm excited for the Euro NASCAR series is coming as well, which is exciting for me, not so much as the European guy, but as a Canadian. The Euro NASCAR is very similar to what we run here in Canada in the Canadian Pinty series, NASCAR series, very similar. So I think it could bring something ahead for some of us Canadian guys to run a series, which is 50% road courses, 50% short tracks. So I think that car could be good for that. I haven't looked at all the releases, but I'm excited, always excited when NASCAR brings out new stuff.
Yeah, I'm excited about that naval base. Just looking at the layout of the track, it looks fun. It's going to be released in time for us to race. Do we race it over in the Cup Series? No, I think we race in the trucks.
Yeah, I think the trucks, I think.
So that'll be exciting. You know, we're coming up on wrapping up. We're getting closer and closer to the Xfinity. Nothing new happening there besides the championship. Cup's fresh. Trucks are in the middle of the points, coming toward the end of the races before season.
Yep. Yeah, a couple races to go before the championship starts. It's exciting. And then we have our new 87 series. If anybody's watching and wants to sign up for that, the 87 series will be starting in July. I think it's July 9th, Thursday, July 9th. It's the 1987 cars running a 1987 schedule, and real paint jobs. 87 points. Any real paint scheme and driver from, I think it's any from that 80s era. It should be a good series. Should be a lot of fun. that's definitely where tire wear is going to come into play. And that'll be another one that Chop Shop has on the go. And we probably have some other stuff. We were going to try to get Strickland on here tonight to talk about some upcoming stuff, but we'll get him on another night. But Chop Shop's always got something on the go, so check them out. Join up if you want to get in racing with some good guys. Most of all our series are broadcasted. They're broadcasted through Signature Esports or VBR. The 87 series is going to be broadcasted itself by Chop Shop itself with this year. And I think John Hammond, Michael Strickland are going to be the broadcasters on that one, so that's exciting. And yeah, that's about it for our show this week. We're getting a little bit over time. We talk about NASCAR a little bit, but we won't get into that this week. Maybe
next week we're also going to bring up the pound for pound.
Absolutely, it'll change by next week, but we'll get into that as well.
So we appreciate y'all coming out. We're going to thank some of our sponsors. We're going to thank Admin Box, Stay Tuned Sports, Premier Racing Setups, MC Graphic, Hoosiers, Chopping Up Podcast, CI, what is it? I can't see. CI something. I can't tell right now. Speedy Trophies, Dove Farm LLC, Frago Paints, C2 Gaming, My Three Sons, Track Racer, Baller Status, MC Graphics, and LTX. We appreciate all you guys sponsoring our league. We also want to give a big shout out to Jason for letting us take a couple of our clips from his broadcast. You know, it makes it a little bit easier to do our show and bring it to you guys. Your last thoughts, Jason?
Yeah. First off, thanks to you for helping out with this podcast every week. Looking forward to doing it more and more every week. Thanks to Michael Bollinger for helping us in the producer's part. Big shout out to Michael Strickland. I didn't thank him the first couple episodes, but every time we do this, he takes what we do. He edits us all, puts out the shorts, takes out all our mistakes, does all that good stuff for us. So thanks to Stryker for taking the time. Usually takes him 2 or 3 hours a night to go through all of our mistakes and fix it all and get it out there on the air. So shout out to him. Thanks to Chop Shop for letting us do this. Thanks to all our sponsors. Thanks to everybody that comes out that will watch us. Please, again, questions, comments. If you don't like it, let us know. If you love it, let us know. If you want something else on the show, let us know. We apologize tonight. We were supposed to have a couple guests for you, but we ran late. We're going to make up for that. We'll have some interviews coming up. Bollinger did not win last week in the truck, so he didn't get to be on camera. So we got to make some other deal to get him on because we want to get him on there, or Tracker the Cat. We'll get Tracker the Cat on here some week. Yeah, my final thoughts is another big week of Chop Shop coming up. Hope to keep the points lead going into, I think we're Legacy. We had Indy. We're at Indy this week. Yeah, so I will make Indy this week because I think it's Legacy Atlanta that I might actually miss the week after. Is the one I'm worried, and that's one of my better tracks, which kind of sucks.
We got Indy and Phoenix.
Indy and Phoenix
coming up. No truck race tomorrow.
So Tyler Lemon, if you're watching this one, don't prove me wrong again. Win another one here. I want you to win all the races. No offense to anybody else, but I want you to win the races for the rest of the season, so I can say that you have another gear, and then you're going to move to the truck. You're going to move to the Cup Series after this, and get out of that O'Reilly Series and move up to the Cup Series where you belong.
He does run some of it a little bit.
He does. I think it's a time commitment and timing wise for him. I think he's a truck driver, and I don't know if he gets home in time on Fridays to be able to do that racing. I think Saturdays was what works for him, so that's good. But yeah, so no more other thoughts other than thanks to everybody. Please give us a like and share, and we'll do it again next week.
My final thoughts. Thank you, John Hammond, for doing the points.
Yes. Thanks, John. He didn't kill us this week for asking him to do points, but thank you for that.
Thank you, Jason Day, for being my co-host and being very supportive through this. You know, we might not always be perfect, but we're going to get it one of these days.
We will.
We without you and Bollinger, you know, and Chop Shop backing us, we don't get to do this. And I appreciate every single one of you. And we will see you on the next one next week.
Perfect. Thanks, guys. See you again.
Thank you.
Monday at the Chop Shop, hood up, eyes low, 2 cars in the bay, and the whole block knows. Rumors in the morning, they spread like fire. Who got the faster line? Who got the tighter tire? I seen you on the screen, clean hands, hard stare. Virtual track, but the pressure's still there. I racing nights, you ghosting through the bend. One bad break move and the whole thing in. Come on, keep it in line. Side to side, no room, no time. Hear that crowd talk, hear that hate. One small slip and you make it wreck. Chop Shop Weekly, we come back mean. Side to side, we live that speed. Chop Shop Weekly, bad blood loud. One more lap and the roof comes down. new scars. Same cold judge, you wanna race clean, but the story gets bent. One click too close, now the whole thing went. Wheel to wheel and the mirrors all blur. He cut your lane like he wanted the burn. Engine screaming, head full of rage. Everybody got a clip for the feed, next page. I saw the wreck in the replay spin, metal and pride and a twisted grin. And the worst part, they still ask for more, said run it back when they hit the floor. Come on, keep it in line, side to side, no room, no time. Hear that crowd talk, hear that hate. One small slip and you make it wreck. Chop shop weekly, we come back me. Side to side, we live that speed. Chop shop weekly, bad bloodline. One more lap and the roof comes down. Chop, we come, blink, don't freeze. Chop weekly, partying with the beast. Late lap, tense air, hands like steel. Everything fake till the tires feel real. Virtual smoke and a real life spite. Same old hunger every Friday night. They said slow down, I said watch me pass. Tail to nose and I'm built to last.